this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. Everything in bloom on the 8th is going to be on the 9th, and the reason is I totally forgot. Just went out of my mind at what the date was, and yet on my calendar by the computer in great big letters against the 8th was we had our first face-to-face committee meeting last night. So, like, you know, in big glaring letters was the 8th underlined, but it didn't have everything in bloom written on it. Oh, I just forgot. It happens. It's not the end of the world. But quite honestly, there isn't a lot to show. And the plants I was going to take round to send, there's too many blooms going over. And, you know, basically that's what they look like on Wednesday. There'll be even more blooms dropped by Saturday, so I didn't bother in the end. It is a lot of fuss at the end of the day, and actually they had quite a lot of plants. Right, before we get on with the everything in bloom, we got a box. That's a bit of a clue, isn't it? So I'm keeping the camera down because I haven't taken my address stuff off. Let's see if we can open this left-handed. That'll be fun, won't it? Sorry about this, I couldn't be bothered to get the tripod out. I only want to get the lid undone anyway. Oh, I don't think that's going to come apart. Left-handed. Come on, gotcha. So pin it against the back wall and run the knife up. Gotcha. Right. Now we're getting somewhere. We've got the address out the way. And what we've got in here is 2 giant packs of this flipping soap stuff. That is enough to last me and 10 other people a lifetime for this flipping bug mix that we're going to do. You know, to mix up a litre, I'm going to be using like probably less than a blinking capful. That's an imperial capful, or is it a metric capful? I can't remember. Don't start me off. Anyway, I've got the flipping stuff, and luckily it is. There's quite a lot of the Dr. Wood's Castile soap, peppermint and tea tree around in the UK, but it's all got something added to it. And that's not what I want. I wanted this, you know, the basic model sort of thing. Anyway, I've got it, and you won't be seeing me use it for some time, I'm afraid. It's Thursday today. I've got things to do today, including this video. Tomorrow, I've got some watering to do before I go and fetch Hannah down for the weekend. I'm picking her up later in the day tomorrow. Saturday, I'm off to the Devon Orchid Society show at Burnham's, taking Hannah and Lynn. So there'll be the 3 of us going. Now I'll be filming the displays and everything at Burnham's. There's traders there as well, not just Burnham's, so there'll be plenty to film. By the time we get back on Saturday, I may not be messing about with videos. I might be thinking about having a meal and a sit down after the drive-in and being on my feet all day. What I'm getting at is there won't be many videos around. And then Sunday, Hannah's down here. It depends what we plan on doing on Sunday, basically, whether I can do a Sunday chat or not. But the chances are, this time it'll get left until Monday. It won't get forgotten, it'll just get delayed a day. So that's the plan. I've got a Care Collab video to do, which is supposed to load tomorrow. Well, I can either film that today or first thing tomorrow. I haven't got to go and get Hannah until later in the after lunch, basically, so I would have time. Anyway, everything, and we're on black coffee today. I ran out of milk in the last cup, and I can't be bothered to go round the shop for a couple of cups of coffee when my shopping's coming later today. So, there we are. What have we got then? Over here, we've got several of the Restrepias are in bloom, but I'm not going to get them out. I can't get close enough handheld anyway. Tucked away in here, lurking, that got forgotten last time, I believe. Hibiscus actually got blooms on, but they're difficult to get at. I'll have to come in over the top because they're in under foliage, so they're difficult to get a good look at, really. But they're there. They're incredibly attractive blooms on hibiki, and that's it. One cluster on a large plant like that. And I mean, that's a pretty good version of the plant. It's got loads and loads of growth on it, but only one cluster of blooms, and it's had them some time. I just keep forgetting to film them. Right, so that's that one. There's nothing much else over here. We've got this Miltonia up here. There's one bloom out on each spike at the moment. Well, this spike's only got one bloom. This one's got a couple more buds to open. I think this bloom's still good enough for me to do the zoom in on this one, because I can't reach the one above. So, lovely bronze gold colour, this one. And, you know, a good sort of purple fading to pink lip, and a very, very typical Miltonia shape. Stands out, you know, a mile, that one. Right, so that's that. Down here we've got the one Masdevallia, that this bloom is still with us. It's pretty low light in under here, I might be able to focus on it. Again, it's a lovely attractive bloom, and it's been out quite a long time. There's no sign of any other buds on any other Masdevallias. The bud on the Dracula Bella hasn't blasted yet, but you know, may or may not be going anywhere. My Hercoglossum still has a few blooms. These are very late blooms for this one, but we've still got some. It's difficult to film these because I need to get underneath, which means hovering upside down. No, I'm not going to do it, not with my back. Injure my back filming a bloom, that would go down well, wouldn't it? When I got driving and that to do this weekend. Right, we've got the one Tolumnia out in bloom, the Tolumnia Bloody Bird, which I've got a feeling this is going to be with us sometime, so I'm just trying to get this thing to do that close focus. I'm not sure I'm going to have enough light to do this today. Not too bad, not too bad. If it's slightly out of focus, I do apologise. I'm trying to keep as still as I can. But very attractive. Most of the blooms on this spike are opening, if not open. And then this spike has just started. It's just opened its first one. So I think it could be with us sometime. And then my only representative of the Cattleyas is this one up here, which again is still with us. Lovely attractive bloom. I think that's been in the last 2 videos, so it's been in bloom quite a while. That's the last one, then it's gone, and then we'll be looking at the several new growths pushing on, ready for the next set of blooms. I do have one other Cattleya with buds on down here, but they'll be a while before they open. They're sort of medium-sized, deep purple ones, those are. There's a no ID hybrid. Then we've got the Orange Vanda. Both spikes opened up nicely now. The other Vanda, the spike on that is, I think it grows about 2 inches a day. I'm not mucking about. It is getting large, to say the least. Now this is losing its first bloom. Now whether that was because it was knocked when it was watering or because it's starting to go, I'm not sure. But there's a couple of buds left to go on there. That one looks like it's blasted. That one may still open. This one's opened all its buds now. These don't last an incredible amount of time. Not bad, but compared with the large blue Vanda that will be open, oh, I don't know how many weeks that'll take before they open because they're huge. They last a long time. And then we've got the Radiata. This is smelly face basically. This one really does push fragrance out into the whole of the grow space. Very powerful fragrance on this one. The other spike's gone now, so we're left with this one. Probably another, maybe a week out of that, and then it'll be gone. And then the 3 big Miltonias, these were the ones I was possibly going to send off. But as you can see, we are losing blooms now. And as I said, you know, each day there's another bloom gone. You know, this one, if I took that one off, what am I doing? Oh, I was going to say I've got a pair of scissors here, but I haven't. I used a knife, didn't I? Quite honestly, this wouldn't have been bad to send. You know, we've got 3 blooms on that spike. 2 on that one that would last. This one probably wouldn't. This one's already going, leaving 2. And then this one's got 3 minus 1, and this one is on its way out as well. So it wouldn't have been bad. Somebody would have had to keep their eye on it and make sure they trimmed the fading blooms off on well, they're doing the setup on Friday afternoon, I think, or maybe Saturday morning, I don't know. And then this one over here, you can see again, blooms are going. And once they start, over here, there's another one gone. So I don't think, they'd have been at their best, let's put it that way. And then the Regnellii up here, which is heading for the roof, these are not what these are. I mean, this is the actual species, this one, this isn't a hybrid. Look at that. I haven't seen any on these plants before. Look at that leaf, just that leaf. And these have got wings. So that, these could easily have transferred to another plant. Just that one leaf. I wondered why it had yellow spots on it. This is, they're underneath the leaf, but if you look on top, you can see the damage has gone. Miltonia leaves are very thin. So their bite marks, leave a mark on both sides. Don't see any other. It's just that one leaf. Incredible. It may have touched another plant. Anyway, the Regnellii hasn't lost any blooms yet, but then it hasn't got that many. This one does spread its blooms out. So, the individual blooms are quite a long way apart. If you have a look at the length of that spike, and again over here, the first bloom's starting to go on that spike already. But that's my 3 big Miltonias, and as I said, they've just gone over a little bit too much. If the show had been last Saturday, all 3 of these would have gone, and they'd have put on a good show. There's no sort of awards or anything, I don't think, although they will probably, out of the Orchid Society displays, I don't know how many societies there are, there's at least 3, maybe 4, there would be some awards for best plant in display and that sort of thing, I expect, I don't know. So that's the 3 big Miltonias. This is their time of year, so despite them being vigorous, and we've got new growths coming on here, new growths coming on this one, so they're pushing on the next lot of growth for blooming, but I doubt if they'll bloom until around this time next year. I don't know, I haven't actually had them long enough to tell. So that's that lot. And then over here, Miltonia Sunset, which apparently isn't called Miltonia Sunset, according to somebody on the Facebook group. It's a Miltonia, because apparently it's got Miltonia in it and Miltoniopsis. But whatever, I'm a bit like that today, whatever. It's going, as you can see, this one's fading, getting brown on it, and this one's lost its nice colouring. They look like pastel versions at the moment, so that one's on its way out. And then the Sweet Pinky Momoko, if I can get this Denfal out of the way, strictly speaking has gone. That's its last one on that cane that's about to fall off, and this one has collapsed overnight. I was hoping that would still be okay today. So strictly speaking, that one's gone now. Up in the gods, we've still got blooms on Dendrobium Kanoko. Seems to be permanently in bloom, although scanning round now, I can't see any more buds pushing out at the moment. So that may be the last little set of blooms for a while. It won't be long, and it'll push some more out. In fact, oh, there's a kink in a leaf. But that is such good value for money. I was talking to one of the guys at the Bournemouth Orchid Society that's had 2 of these and killed them both, and one of them never bloomed. Now I'm getting this down because this is its last bloom. I'll have to put it down to film this, and it'll have to stay still, it's too small. This is my little bulbophyllum. This is the last bloom to stay intact, and then it won't bloom again until next year. What it'll do now is start pushing out its new growths. Actually it's started, I can see several. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Difficult, this really is tiny. So the camera's not playing ball today. I'm touching the screen where I want it to focus, and it's not switching to that function, and I think it's just lack of light. It can't think what else it is. It's sticking the little square on the bloom like it should do, but it's not as crisp as it should do. So as I say, it's just lack of light. Plus I'm now leaning over it, blocking the light as well. I move out of the way, it might focus better. Anyway, that's that little one. And then literally last but not least, I said there wasn't much this time, is the actual Dendrobium Phalaenopsis type. This is Thai Angel. And I've never been that good at growing the Dendrobium Phalaenopsis. I've always failed with them. I've lost quite a few over the years, and I know why. It's basically a combination of staying in the pot too long, repotting at the wrong time. You know, this is going back a bit. We don't tend to do that quite so often nowadays, mainly because I know the consequences. And a lot of it was, you know, the fact that it's colder in the winter than this would like by quite a bit, it stops growing. So my Dendrobium Phalaenopsis was staying too wet, yeah, in the winter time when it was cold, and took the roots down. Yeah, so and that happened with the Latoria types, a couple of the black hair types. They're warmer growers. They're supposed to be drier in winter, but you know, the drier element is geared up to how low the temperature is going to go at night time, and you adjust your watering accordingly. If they're kept reasonably warm, they'll keep growing. You know, you could even get new growths pushing up in the middle of winter. You have to keep those going, but you need the temperatures. If you're going to go cool, then they need to stay quite dry, and they'll just stall. They'll just stop growing. Anyway, lovely attractive blooms on this one, and this one I've been successful with, although there's no new growths on this plant. This was split a while ago, so somebody else has got a bit of this as well. Yeah, I like that one. And I've got another one somewhere. What have I got? Something black. Something black, I've forgotten. But there is at least one other Phalaenopsis type in here. Maybe two, I'm not sure. But no signs of any blooms on any of the others yet. So there we go. Messing about with this stuff and the spray and mixing it up and all that sort of stuff and trying it out, that's going to be next week now. I'm not going to be mucking about with that this week. So we'll get round to it, and I will film up the mixing and we'll try and get the recipe right, won't we? Doing my flipping head in, that is. So we'll do that. But at the end of the day, I mean, you know, if I tried to follow the US recipe, I wouldn't have any of the measuring units. I mean, I expect that somewhere in the UK you could buy a US cup or US quarter cup or US tablespoon, but they're not the same as the UK versions. So the recipe would just be wrong. If I used 2 quarts, if I used 2 English quarts, and then adjusted the rest of the measurements, it still wouldn't be right. Yeah, so hopefully, well, somebody else verified the conversion that I did, so I'm happy to use that now. And I only want a litre on the grounds that I need to try this. I'm not soaking whole plants, multiple, loads, only to find that the plants aren't happy with it. So I've got to go careful. There will be a trial on a few plants to see how they go and see if it works. And then if it does, we'll move on and do some more. But that'll be next week anyway. So there we go. As I say, sorry everything in bloom's a day late yet again, but no practical reason this time apart from I forgot. It happens. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.